Now, a pub in Swansea has made itself a signal-free zone, so no mobile phones are capable of receiving a signal in order to boost conversation and get people's heads away from the screens. Now, alongside this is a rising sentiment that phones are stifling the conversation that once filled or fills the bars and pubs around Dublin and other cities and towns. Now, to discuss this, I'm joined on the line by the manager of Whiskey Joe's in Loughrea, where they've already put a ban on mobile phones. Bradley Tucker. Bradley, welcome to the programme.
Yeah, thank you very much. How's it going?
Very good, my friend. Bradley, just how serious an issue is this in pubs? I mean, is it just an exaggeration of one or two people checking texts, or are pubs genuinely becoming less inclusive places?
Nowadays, like the trends in pubs, and it's certainly changed, especially with the atmosphere and people going on their phones. And I mean, there's so much you can do on these smartphones now that people are just entertained and interested in what's going on in their phones. And I mean, there'd be times there where I'll be surveying the customers in the bar and I'll be looking around and you get a table of 4 or 5 and there'd be no conversation going. So, the lack of atmosphere, we decided, because we believe that people should be allowed to enjoy what the pub has to offer, we decided to bring the ban into place. So how did you go about it, Bradley? How did you come to the decision and say, all right, let's try this out? Just simply, really, because we were looking around and we was noticing that there was a lack of conversation. And myself being a bar manager, there's nothing greater than having a pub full of laughter and people talking. And certainly over the last 10 years, I've seen it change myself. But I think especially with the younger market of people, they sort of maybe don't know what they've missed out on.
But is it the case, Brandy, that they don't know any better? Because you look at a gang of people at a bus stop, look at a gang of people anywhere that are gathered, sitting around having their lunch outside an office. They're all on their dog and bones, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, I know, yeah. No, I'd agree with that. And I think, the younger people, they wouldn't really know what the older generation...
Eye contact, walking down the street. All you see now is the tops of heads.
It's crazy. And I mean, even now with our pub, we have it as a Pokemon Go stop. So we have people coming in now, and there was someone telling me the other day they caught a Pokemon at the bar. I mean, it just got ridiculous. It's just got ridiculous.
But Bradley, did he have a small libation on board? Was he locked when he asked you?
I know, it's crazy.
How did the decision, Bradley, go down with the customers? How long ago did you institute this ban?
We introduced it beginning of last year. I believe it was February. I mean, we sort of do a little motivation thing for people that want to do it. I mean, now there's no sort of obligation. We're not overly strict on it now. We just try to encourage people talking and conversation.
So, dare I ask the question, Bradley, is it a bit of an old PR stunt as opposed to you're more concerned with the social concerns of people overusing technology?
Well, I mean, I suppose there's an argument to two sides, to the other side of it as well, because, I mean, we use a lot of social media ourselves to engage with our customers. I mean, we push events and that for it. So we sort of want people to be checking their Facebook for the Whiskey Joe's page. And it's, it's sort of 6 and a half dozen of the other. I mean, I think it's more of the internet on the phones and the fact you can do so much with phones. Because in a way, if you have a group in the pub and they're phoning their friends up to come down to the pub, you're going to get to see more custom, more people in the pub, better atmosphere.
I mean, I would have thought... Did we not hear, 5 years ago that publicans were blaming the smoking ban for killing pubs? Is it not just another thing the publicans are saying that when things aren't going well, it's because they're on their phones. It's because they can't smoke anymore.
Yeah, maybe it's a habit thing as well. Maybe people, when the smoking ban come in, they had to replace it with something else. So maybe it was the mobile phones.
Well, I mean, this is true. And in fairness to you, Bradley, I mean, it is an industry, in Ireland and across the UK that has suffered over the years. I mean, you go through any small village or town in Ireland, the amount of pubs that have closed. So what you guys have to do as publicans and as pub managers is you've got to look like any other businessman at other ways of getting your punters in across your doorstep. And if you're offering an incentive to come in there, be it, look, we'll give you a free shot if you don't use your phone in here. There's no harm in that, really, is there? It's another business tack.
No, as well, it's all about, seeing repeat business and seeing your customers come back. And, if they come in and they sit down, they enjoy themselves and they're talking to each other, they're engaging in conversation, and they're generating laughter, they're going to generally enjoy that experience. And I mean, you're going to see them coming back anyway.
And are they telling you about it, Bradley? Like, are they getting on social media afterwards, after they've been in Whiskey Joe's, and saying, do you know what, actually, we sat and had a conversation for about half an hour in the bar tonight, and it was a bit of crack?
Yeah, I mean, you'd see comments after, mainly sort of on a Sunday daytime, after a Saturday night, after a busy Saturday night. I'd be going through, like, the news feed on, say, Facebook. I'd be looking, we have Snapchat as well. We use Snapchat as one of our social media platforms. And I'd be going through that, and, there'd be people talking about the pub, and you'd sort of see a lot of the feedback the next day, So
it is working, you think, is it?
I think it is working to a certain degree. I think, the benefits of it are that, you have the better atmosphere in the pub, people are talking, engaging conversation. I think there's a little downside to it as well, that sometimes, through social media and at the pub, maybe can't engage through social media when they're in the pub as much.
But it opens up that broader conversation of, you go into any restaurant and you look at the couple who are out having dinner and both of them are on their phones. That's a great night out, isn't it?
Oh no, it's really gone ridiculous.
I spent a lot of time in LA last year, and then I went for dinner one night with about 8 people, and they did this thing where they put a dish in the middle of the table in the restaurant. We all had to put our mobile phones in it, and the first person who reached for their phone to check their social media paid the bill.
That's a great idea.
And listen, try that one down at Whiskey Joe's in Loughrea. Stick a big dish in the middle of a table and say, stick your phones in there, lads. First one to use their phone, you have to pay for a round of shots for the table. You can have that one on me, Bradley.
Thanks a million now. I'll give it a go.
You're welcome. And listen, we'll split the profits.
Yep, that's good now. That's for me anyway.
Bradley Tucker, manager of Whiskey Joe's in Loughrea. Thanks for joining us on the show today, mate.
Thanks a million now. Take care.
No problem. We'll be back after these.